Hi class, this is the overview for the 3-2 activity, EI careers, and compassion fatigue. So let's begin by exploring what is compassion fatigue and how does it manifest itself in helping careers. The term helping careers is a very broad term. You can be a teacher, a police officer, a firefighter, EMT, doctor, nurse, lawyer, a bartender, a sales person, any role in which you are putting people's needs above your own and you're trying to help them problem solve, find resources to help them in the community. Those are helping professions. You're trying to make somebody's life a little bit better. And compassion fatigue can happen in any type of helping profession. A few definitions include the sheer exhaustion caused by prolonged exposure to other people's trauma. And this trauma can be lived or experienced with that individual you are helping who is suffering. Or it can be something that the person who is suffering will share with you. Right? So it could be because of a counseling session or dialogue between you and that individual and the trauma that they have endured, they share, and that is part of compassion fatigue as well. Now this is a great image to kind of show how compassion fatigue makes people feel. It's like your battery is running low, you have no energy, and you feel burnt out. Another definition is a form of burnout caused by the emotional toll of helping others who are suffering. So if you go, into a career, a lot of the research out there is showing that younger people within that role or less experienced individuals within their new roles experience compassion fatigue at much higher rates than those who are more seasoned in that profession or who have been in that role for a longer period of time. Particularly research with on like therapists or counselors. And the research on like doctors and people who are in the health professions show that compassion fatigue, one determinant of the levels of compassion fatigue are how, whether it's a government-run program that the doctor is involved in, or if it's a private practice. They tend to be, burnout is higher when the government is running the organization because caseloads tend to be quite high and there's less time for the doctor to tend to all of the patients or the nurses and the healthcare professionals within that organization. So a lot has to do with the environment, right? So what are the working conditions an individual is in, and do they have the right tools to truly help all the people that they are supposedly supposed to be helping? Because it can't happen all the time. In social work, for example, you're going to get a high caseload, but it depends on, how many social workers are employed at that organization, and your caseload might be lower, right, if they have a lot more people to help out. So in situations where there's less seasoned employees and there's the environment itself is causative to poor health because of lack of help within the roles, you're going to have higher levels of compassion fatigue or emotional burnout. So some symptoms individuals experience are psychological and physical, right? Some people have reported post-traumatic stress disorder, where they're reliving the events or the trauma that they've witnessed through nightmares, flashbacks, those sorts of situations. Having reoccurring thoughts of a patient or situation that happened and not being able to leave work and change your headspace and live your life. You're thinking about work while you're with your family. Withdrawal from loved ones. Maybe you're working later into the night because you want to help so many people, and there's just not enough time during the day because maybe you're meeting with people during the day, driving from one location to the next, and you don't have time to do your paperwork. So oftentimes people start withdrawing from loved ones because they're prioritizing work over family by staying at work for longer periods of time, just so that they can meet the demands of the role. Apathy towards work or patients can occur. Increased substance use, so not being able to handle the stress in a way where you're de-stressing without substances is a big issue. Hypervigilance, physical issues such as gastrointestinal problems and headaches. Those have been reported among those in helping careers. So for this assignment, the Module 3 activity, you're provided with a template, and you're going to just insert your text, save your document to your computer, and then upload it to Brightspace. So for the first question, you're going to share, is your goal to work in a helping profession, or do you work in a helping profession now? And describe why your goal profession or current profession is meaningful to you. So why is it meaningful to go into an altruistic career path, a helping profession? What type of motivations do you have for going into into a helping career, and why is it special to you? The second one is, one of your programmatic course themes is self-care. Which of the strategies for self-care from the article, Recognizing Compassion Fatigue in Helping Professions, are most relevant to you now as a student or working professional? So within this context of understanding emotional intelligence careers, right, helping professions, it's important that while we're putting other people first, that we're also taking care of ourselves and recognizing when to do so, when it is very important to do so, and to take a step back for self-care. So for that question, please do read that article. It goes over a lot of strategies, and it's a very brief article, but it is very good in sharing how to implement self-care to avoid compassion fatigue, or to help manage it or combat it. And then for the third one of your programmatic course themes is emotional intelligence. All right, remember, what is emotional intelligence? Well, it's the ability to understand the emotions of yourself and the emotions of others around you. How do you currently apply emotional intelligence skills as a student or working professional? So think back to that emotional intelligence self-assessment and the 5 domains in which you scored differently or similarly in. And go back into that and explore how self-awareness and conflict resolution and all of those domains are areas where you might be applying, or areas where you kind of need to grow in. And how can it be useful for you to explore strategies for EI as this course, or the program if you are a psychology major, continues. All right, and for each of these, minimum responses is 1 to 3 sentences. But please do provide enough detail so that I can grade you according to the rubric. And the rubric will be pretty simple. You're graded on the completeness of your responses to those 3 questions we just discussed, as well as the grammar, sentence structure, and spelling of your submission. So if you have any questions on this assignment, don't hesitate to post those to the General Questions Discussion Forum. And I hope you have a great day.